Hello, Connor. Good evening to you.
Hi, good morning over here.
Okay, good morning. And I would like to tell my viewers that this is my friend Connor. She is from the USA. She is a homemaker, mother, and on top of that, she is a voracious reader. So, in this video, I'm going to ask her about her habits of reading and lots of other things on top of that. So, welcome, Connor.
Thanks for having me. How are you doing today?
I'm pretty well. What about you?
I'm doing well, thank you. It's still fairly early, but I'm planning on having a good day.
Okay, and so yeah, Cornel, tell me something about your passion for reading books. You are fond of reading. So, what kind of
I,
books do you like to read?
I am fond of reading. I really enjoy reading theology books because I like to learn about how people think and kind of what they believe, what motivates them to, get out of bed every morning, make the choices they make. Why do you live your life like that? Like, what is it that shapes your life? And so I like to read theological based texts. And so what that means is, because that's kind of a big word in English, theology, it primarily refers to uh, religion in general. But if you hear it from someone in the US, they're probably going to be talking specifically about Christianity and not the world religions. And I'll read both types of texts. So um, I read Christian texts regularly, but I also am interested in understanding other people's religions and belief system. And so currently I am reading the Lotus Sutra. Um, and in the past, I finished the Quran, and I think that I'm gonna, I'm probably gonna continue doing it. Just it's interesting to understand.
Interesting. When was the first time that when you fell in love with books? When was the first time?
So I was 9 years old when I first fell in love with books. Um, my parents are both avid readers as well.
And nowadays, like a lot of people have stopped reading books. Like they are not fond of reading books, or even they know that reading books can help them a lot. But despite knowing the fact that these books are important and reading books is important, somehow they don't tend to do it. So, what advice would you like to give to those people?
Um, you know, the written word is it is important, but I mean, I'm a mother, so I understand sometimes it's a matter of prioritizing your time. And if you have a demanding job, or you have kids, or you're taking care of another family member, and you can barely find 10 minutes to heat up noodles in your microwave so that you can eat some lunch, type of thing. Um, I would very highly recommend audiobooks.
Okay.
And so when you kind of get into audiobooks, it still keeps you connected to regular books, but it allows you the freedom to be driving in your car, or maybe you're having to fold some laundry, do dishes, you're going out and you're in the grocery store, and you can still be listening to these stories. And if it's something to help you relax, then you listen to like fun stories. But if you're trying to learn something, it still gives you that too.
Okay. And in context of language, like being an English teacher, I often try to hone my skills. Like I always believe that there is always a room for improvement. And you are a native English speaker, and you tend to help a lot of people with their English. So, what advice would you like to give to learners who wants to improve their proficiency level of English language?
So, when when people learn English, first off, I mean, I think it's amazing that so many people are learning English, and it is not an easy language to learn. Our rules aren't really rules, it's more like suggestions. Um, but I would separate non-native speakers kind of into two categories. There's functional English, and that's fluent, and then there is I want to sound like a native speaker fluency. And once you hit fluency and you're not concerned about sounding like a native English speaker, I mean, we can understand everything you say. A lot of people forget to restate the subject in their sentences. Words like it, is, I call them filler words because they're not in a lot of other languages. But it's kind of that fine tuning using those words that's really going to make you sound more native. The other thing that I tend to notice is, especially in Latin-based languages, and I'm not familiar with languages over in Asia, but I know that, like, if you have 100, it's a single hundred, but if you have 200, it's two hundreds, is the way that it translates. And in English, we kind of group our numbers, so we would say it's 200 of something, and so what's plural in that statement is the thing that you're describing, not the numeric value, if that makes sense.
Like, there is this trend also going on. Like, tell me your honest opinions regarding that. There are some classes who claim that you can learn English in 3 or 4 months. Do you think that's possible? Anyone who does not know even a single sentence of English language can master this language in 3 or 4 months?
I don't want to discourage nobody, but a lot of it has to do with commitment. And if you are spending 12 hours a day studying a language, which I don't recommend, you're gonna get tired, your head's gonna hurt, you're gonna start mixing things up, and you'll practice wrong. And once you start practicing wrong, it becomes a habit, and then you have to unlearn the bad habit, and then you have to relearn what you already know and fix it, and then it makes you take longer. It takes approximately 580 hours is the average to become a level B1 speaker in any language around the world. If you know a second language, especially a Latin-based or a Germanic-based language, it will cut down on that time because English uses both Latin and Germanic vocabulary. Some of it's Slavic too, but I mean, it's weird. We just borrow from everybody. But a lot of what you need to do at that point, if you already speak multiple languages, is it's just vocabulary building. And so once you memorize the words, it gets a lot easier.
All right, Connor, I won't hold you any longer. Thank you for sharing your information and all the insightful lessons with me, my viewers.
Well, thank you so much for having me. You have an excellent evening, hun. Bye now.